Good evening, humans. Tyrannosaurusmoth here, and tonight we're taking a look at the Power Rangers Lightning Collection S.P.D A-Squad Yellow Ranger figure from Hasbro. As I believe I had explained in a previous review, S.P.D is a season I didn't see the whole way through, just because it came off Netflix before I could finish watching it, and I didn't watch it back in the day, so there's a little gap there. However, I did read up on the whole story. I think in the episodes I got to watch, they just introduced the A-Squad, but I did see the story about kind of what happens with them towards the end of the season, so I do know that much. But in any event, they did a pretty good job of transferring that into figure form, with one pretty big gripe on my behalf. But let's get into that. So let's get right in this review. Let's do this. Aesthetically speaking, A-Squad Yellow looks pretty damn good. In fact, there's a couple improvements from A-Squad Blue. One setback, but mostly I think improvements. And bring Blue up here so we can look. And the first thing I noticed that I kind of like the improvement on is the silver. The armor looks to be just about the same. It might just be the yellow kind of making it seem the metal looking a little bit darker. But on the helmet, I definitely like this silver better than this one, and it's getting washed out by my lights. But this is kind of more of a white silver, and this is more of a just true silver. So I'm definitely a fan of that. Everything else looks more or less the same, but you can see the pads here. We got the black streak here, where we didn't get that on Blue. And again, the calves, just like a slightly more metallic silver here on Yellow. So that's pretty cool. The one difference that I think they did better with Blue is that you can see the visor design, getting away my light, is just painted on here, where on Blue, they actually sculpted in all that line work so that the paint could be filled in. And I think that looks a little bit better, looks a little more solid. But not something you're gonna notice from a distance on a shelf. But beyond that, we're getting pretty much the same thing. Oh, and again, the silver on the belt, where it's more kind of the white plain on Blue, and then we get kind of the more marbleized true silver on Yellow. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, proportions are great. And it's all built off that standard Lightning Collection buck. So yeah, another good looking figure from Lightning Collection. For accessories, A-Squad Yellow is relatively bare bones, but it definitely works. However, this is where my one gripe is, and that comes in the form of the hands. So for our gripping hands, we get just a black plastic version of the standard gripping hands we've had with a lot of the Lightning Collection for the most part. So that kind of bladed weapon holding hand, kind of a martial arts pose, like it's a good medium. However, it does not work for weapons with a trigger. And this comes in a pack, or I'm sorry, Blue came in a pack with S.P.D Blue, who has trigger fingers. So I don't know why they wouldn't just cast those in black and then put those with the A-Squad, because they don't really hold these little laser rifles as you would hope they would, because it just kind of like sticks there, and you actually have to cut the fingers to actually get that to kind of go through the trigger guard here. So that's kind of weird. And then the other hands we get are two fists, which are, again, look nice, those work. And because I just picked it up, here is the laser rifle. I'm sure there's an actual name for this that I'm forgetting at the moment. I apologize for that. Just all cast in black with some silver on the actual symbol and little splashes of yellow. So it looks really nice. Pardon my voice tonight, y'all. And then we have the blast effect, just a yellow kind of piece that plugs into the, apparently not very well, because I didn't try that yet. Oh, there we go. So just like that. And that's your accessories. Articulation-wise, A-Squad Yellow is very much our standard Lightning Collection fare, with the exception of the little armor piece here, but we'll get to that. So let's start from top to bottom as we always do. So going up, we get some really nice look up and some really decent down. So really, like, the helmet sculpt just works. Not too much tilt. You can get a little bit if you do that, but you are on that ball hinge, so you can come all the way around. You can do all the things that you normally do with a ball hinge. We do have our butterfly joints, so in and out, they work quite well. Our arms come up. The shoulders on mine are super stiff, so I'm still probably gonna warm this one up a wee bit, mostly for the right arm. But we come up into our T-pose. We have bicep swivel. We have double jointed elbows folding all the way. We have our hinge and our swivel and hinge at the wrist, all horizontal. Then we do have our diaphragm ball joint, which is gonna bring us all the way around, and combined with the crunch at the waist, gonna bring us about that far forward and all the way back. Not quite as crazy, again, because we have that little armor piece. Then we come down to the hips, and we're getting really good ones. We got the newer hips, which is kind of nice. So it's definitely got that going for it. Then we got the thigh swivel, double jointed knees, bringing us to there. We do have boot cut nicely hidden right here at the top of the boot. So that goes all the way around. Then our feet, we can point completely. We can come forward just a wee bit. And then of course, we have that wonderful ankle rocker, and that's articulation. Getting into size comparisons, here is a squad yellow with some other Lightning Collection figures, with some other Hasbro stuff, with some imports, with some monsters, finally with an Articulated Icons Oni, and yours truly in human form as an Articulated Icons Ninja. So my final thoughts on the Power Rangers Lightning Collection S.P.D A-Squad Yellow Ranger are that it's another solid figure in the Lightning Collection line, the line you've heard me say a few times at this point if you've been following along. However, if you are not a fan of the inconsistencies between teams, this might be a harder one to get. Again, even with the improvements, certainly from my perspective, on the tones of silver that they used for this one as opposed to blue. I'd be really interested to see what they do with the rest of the team, which we're getting kind of dripped down through the next few months into next year. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, so yeah, if you're collecting the line, absolutely pick this up. If you're a fan of S.P.D, pick this up. If you're a fan of Power Rangers, pick this up. And that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you found this informative and or entertaining. And if you did, please consider liking, commenting, subscribing, and or sharing. And if you want to help the channel in other ways, I will have ways to do that in the description, listed in the description as well. So yeah, ultra thanks to you one more time for watching, and please take care of yourself, take care of those around you, and most importantly, stay weird, simians.